software engineer, and welcome to my series and welcome to my YouTube channel. And if you're here, then you're interested in design pattern, and this series is the right one for you. So I'm going to take you for this course where we are going to look at what design patterns are, what problems they solve, and simple examples on how to go about design patterns. Alright then, without further ado, let's jump right in. So what are design patterns? Well, design patterns are reusable solutions to recurring problems. Again, design patterns are solutions to recurring problems in the software engineering field. That's all about it. And what does that mean? It means that as a software engineer, you will face some problems when writing code, whether it's creational problems, structural problems, which means how to structure your code, or behavioral problems, how your code behaves. You're going to encounter some unique cases that will require unique approaches. And this is why design patterns are, this is what design patterns are for, to create solutions for those particular problems. Now, I've already given you a clue as to the different types of families of design patterns. As you can guess, there are three of them, starting with the creational. The creational solve creational problems in design pattern, in development, in software engineering. And what do I mean by this? Essentially, when creating your classes, you might encounter cases where you need a particular behavior rather than another behavior. In that particular case, you might opt for one of the creational design patterns that provide that behavior. For example, Singleton is a creational design pattern that solves the problem of having one particular instance of a class that can be reused across your project. It solves the problem when you need a single instance of a class to exist, and every other function that requires to use that particular class will pass through that particular instance. However, you might not want that particular behavior with another particular class, and so you will not opt for the singleton. Let's go to the behavioral. The behavioral is another family of design patterns that particularly solve the behavioral part or problems that you encounter in your code during software development. And what do I mean by that? It solves those problems that will occur when your code or different elements of your code are trying to interact with each other. For example, you have a particular, say you send a request to your particular software, and you have a certain chain of events you want to occur in a particular sequence. Now, there is a pattern called chain of responsibility that is suitable for those kind of cases. It takes that request and passes it down that chain, and every function is enforced on your particular request. And there are multiple other kind of design patterns, excuse me, in the behavioral design chain that will solve different problems. The behavioral, again, they solve problems that occur when components of your product or your software interact with each other, how they interact within your system. Let's go to the structural. The structural design pattern solves structural problems. What do I mean by that? Well, how your code is arranged, how your classes are defined, how they are structured. For example, let's take a particular class. You create a base class, says calculate a person's mark, okay? But then you want to say have the option to add marks to certain students. you create another class. Rather than implementing that within same class, you can create another class that says add marks. And it simply has that particular calculate marks within it. What it does is it adds the mark, then calculate the mark. It never touches the old class that adds functionality to it. Now, this might sound confusing as I'm talking about it, but we are going to be seeing it in this series down the line, and you're going to understand further. Within these three categories, you will find the solutions to all of your problems that you will encounter doing software engineering in terms of design, just to highlight that. So, we are going to be looking at the creational, the structural, and the behavioral design patterns. These three families contains 23 different design patterns. We are going to be looking at each in their own separate videos with exercises. We are going to start with the creational and end up with the behavioral. So, if you enjoy this and this has been impactful for you, give this video a thumbs up, like, share, and comment your thoughts. And if that's okay, I've been Ghana Emmanuel, and see you in the next video. Thank you.